The Israelites celebrate their victory after crossing the Red Sea, based on the biblical account in Exodus 14:15. For generations, the Israelites had lived as slaves in Egypt. Forced to build cities for Pharaoh, they worked long days under harsh masters. Their cries for help rose to God, who remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God chose Moses to lead his people out of slavery. Though Pharaoh repeatedly refused to let them go, God sent 10 powerful plagues upon Egypt. After the final plague, Pharaoh finally allowed the Israelites to leave. More than 600,000 men, along with women, children, and many others, departed from Egypt. They carried with them the hope of a new beginning, trusting that God would lead them to the promised land. As they journeyed through the wilderness, God guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. The cloud gave direction, and the fire gave light in the darkness. The people knew they were not traveling alone. But Pharaoh soon regretted letting the Israelites leave. His heart became hardened once again. Gathering 600 of his finest chariots, along with many other soldiers, horsemen, and commanders, he pursued the Israelites with the intention of bringing them back into slavery. Soon the Israelites found themselves trapped. Ahead of them stretched the Red Sea. Behind them came Pharaoh's powerful army with chariots racing across the desert. Fear spread through the camp. Parents held their children close. Many cried out to Moses. "Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the wilderness to die?" they asked. Moses answered with courage, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm and you will see the salvation of the Lord. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." Then God spoke to Moses, "Lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea." Moses obeyed. A strong east wind blew throughout the night. The waters of the sea divided, forming towering walls of water on both sides. Between them appeared a path of dry ground. One by one, the Israelites stepped into the seabed. Families walked together. Children looked with amazement at the towering walls of water. Elders leaned on their staffs. The pillar of cloud moved behind them, standing between the Israelites and the Egyptian army, protecting God's people during the night. All through the night they crossed safely. When the Egyptians saw the path through the sea, they followed with their horses and chariots. They believed they could overtake the Israelites. But God troubled the Egyptian army. Their chariot wheels became difficult to drive. Confusion spread among the soldiers. They cried out, "Let us flee from Israel. The Lord is fighting for them against Egypt." Then God said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea once more." As dawn broke, Moses obeyed. The walls of water rushed back into place. The sea covered Pharaoh's army, their horses, and their chariots. None who had entered the sea survived. On the opposite shore, the Israelites stood in silence. The danger had passed. The army that had enslaved them for generations could no longer harm them. They realized that God had delivered them with his mighty power. Fear turned into joy. Tears became songs. Their hearts overflowed with gratitude. Then Moses led the people in a great song of praise to the Lord. They sang, "I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will praise him. My father's God, and I will exalt him." The people praised God's greatness, remembering his faithfulness and mighty deeds. They declared that no other God was like the Lord, who had rescued his people with power and mercy. After the song, Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron, took a tambourine in her hand. The women followed her with tambourines and dancing. Together they sang, "Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider He has thrown into the sea. The sound of music echoed across the desert. Children laughed. Families embraced one another. For the first time in generations, they celebrated not as slaves, but as a free people. Their celebration was not only about escaping Egypt, it was a celebration of God's faithfulness. The Red Sea became a lasting reminder that God could make a way where there seemed to be no way. This event became one of the greatest moments in Israel's history. For centuries afterward, the Israelites remembered the crossing of the Red Sea during their worship and festivals. Parents told the story to their children, teaching them that the God who delivered their ancestors was faithful from generation to generation. The journey to the Promised Land was still ahead, and many challenges remained. Yet after witnessing God's power at the Red Sea, the Israelites had a reason to hope. Their victory was not won by swords or chariots. It came because the Lord fought for them. And on the shores of the Red Sea, with songs of praise rising into the morning sky, the people of Israel celebrated the God who had turned fear into freedom and slavery into hope.